Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of Sparklers News. I hope you've had a brilliant week. Sun's been shining, all is well, even when things are a bit crazy. So straight on to the next thing. Last week we were talking about the colour yellow. The week before that we were talking about the colour green. This week we are talking about the colour purple. Now purple is considered a royal colour. It used to be the most expensive colour to make. So if anyone wore purple, they were pretty special. So let's see. But at the moment, Joseph's in jail. What's that got to do with royalty? Joseph and Pharaoh's dream. Let's hear a story about it. One night, Pharaoh had a dream. He saw 7 fat cows and 7 thin cows. The thin cows ate up the fat, well-fed cows, but the thin cows still looked hungry. The next night, he dreamed about 7 fat stalks of corn and 7 thin stalks of corn. And again, the thin corn ate up the fat corn, but it still looked hungry. Pharaoh got all his wise men and magicians with their magic powers to find out what the dreams meant, but none of their magic worked. Then, Pharaoh's best servant told him about a prisoner called Joseph who could understand the meaning of dreams. "Send for him at once," commanded Pharaoh. Joseph was in prison for something that he didn't do, if you remember, but he trusted God. "God, you are always with me. Show me what Pharaoh's dream means," prayed Joseph. God said, "There will be a great harvest for 7 years. Then 7 years of famine." Now famine is where nothing grows, it doesn't rain, and the plants don't grow, the crops don't do well, and there's just no food around. "Put a good man in charge of storing food before the famine comes," Joseph told Pharaoh. "There is no one better than you," said Pharaoh. "You will be in charge of storing the food so that no one ever goes hungry." Joseph became the most important man in Egypt. Now that's quite a turnaround, isn't it? In one day, Joseph went from being his father's favourite to being thrown down a hole and sold. In one day, Joseph went from being the most trusted servant to being thrown in jail for something he didn't do. And in one day, Joseph went from being in jail to being the most important person in the land after Pharaoh. That's a big change. Through it all, Joseph trusted God, always. I can trust God, and so can you, even when life changes. Things are bonkers right now. We can't do the stuff that we normally would. We can't see the friends that we normally would. But we can always, always trust God. Now on the website, I've put a colouring page, but also there's a craft activity for you. I really liked this one. You can cut all the different pieces out, stick them all together, and you make a cow headdress, just like the cows we were talking about in the story earlier. And if I sit just right, it looks like the ears are coming out of my head. So I would love to see pictures of you wearing these headdresses that you've made, or anything you found around the house that's purple. Just send us some photos because we would love to see what you're up to. And remember, no matter what is happening, you can always, always trust God.